past, present and future bodhisattvas have been saved, are being saved, and will be saved. If you find no one to support you on the spiritual path, walk alone. Those who cling to their perceptions and points of view wander the world offending others. I will not inspect another's bowl with the intent of finding flaws. This is a learned behavior. If you find a wise critic who can point out your flaws, follow him like a guide to hidden treasure. In this world, hatred never appeases hatred. Hatred is only appeased by non-hatred. This is an eternal law. It is preferable to live one day and witness the rise and fall of things than to live 100 years and never witness the rise and fall of things. A noble person is not one who harms living beings. One is called noble if they do not harm living beings. Death and decay afflict the world. But the wise, having realized the nature of the world, do not weep. Whatever precious jewel exists in the heavenly worlds, nothing compares to the awakened. All are terrified of violence and death. In the place of another, one should not kill or cause another to kill. As the great ocean has only one flavor, that of salt, so does this teaching and discipline have only one flavor, that of liberation. It is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles. Then the victory is yours. It cannot be taken from you, not by angels or by demons, heaven or hell. Satisfied covering the body with robes and feeding the belly with morsels, I went with all my belongings wherever I went. If we could see the miracle of a single flower clearly, our whole life would change. There are these 5 clinging aggregates: form, feeling, perception, impulses, and consciousness. Words have the power to both destroy and heal. When words are both true and kind, they can change our world. The 5 skandhas are the holding mass of matter, feelings, perceptions, impulses, and the holding mass of consciousness. There is nothing so disobedient as an undisciplined mind, and there is nothing so obedient as a disciplined mind. Believe nothing, no matter where you read it, or who said it, no matter if I have said it, unless it agrees with your own reason and your own common sense. The Buddha dissuades beings from the notion of a self, and then through emptiness liberates them from samsara. Doubt everything. Find your own light. Pain is certain, suffering is optional. Meditate. Live purely. Be quiet. Do your work with mastery. Like the moon, come out from behind the clouds. Shine. You are like the yellow leaf. The messengers of death are at hand. You are to travel far away. What will you take with you? We can never obtain peace in the outer world until we make peace with ourselves. Though you may read many sutras and speak about them to others, what good will they do you if you do not act upon them? Believe nothing, no matter where you read it, or who said it, unless it agrees with your own reason and your own common sense. You can surely not assume that the real essence of form has actually been apprehended. The only real failure in life is not to be true to the best one knows. Every human being is the author of his own health or disease. It is in the nature of things that a dispassionate person realizes the knowledge and vision of release. Give, even if you only have a little. When you realize how perfect everything is, you will tilt your head back and laugh at the sky. An idea that is developed and put into action is more important than an idea that exists only as an idea. If you truly loved yourself, you could never hurt another. It is in the nature of things that a person whose mind is concentrated knows and sees things as they actually are. Without faith, there is no approaching. Therefore faith is of much help for approaching the Dharma. Happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. Happiness is nothing more than good health and a bad memory. Health is the greatest gift. Contentment the greatest wealth. Faithfulness the best relationship. The secret of health for both mind and body is not to mourn for the past, worry about the future, or anticipate troubles, but to live in the present moment wisely and earnestly. To keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear. To enjoy good health, to bring true happiness to one's family, to bring peace to all, one must first discipline and control one's own mind. If a man can control his mind, he can find the way to enlightenment, and all wisdom and virtue will naturally come to him. Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. In a controversy, the instant we feel anger, we have already ceased striving for the truth, and have begun striving for ourselves. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, but concentrate the mind on the present moment. In the end, only three things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. Love yourself and watch today, tomorrow, always. First, establish yourself in the way, then teach, and so defeat sorrow. You cannot travel the path until you have become the path itself. Work out your own salvation. Do not depend on others. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. The world always finds a way to praise and a way to blame. It always has and it always will. The Bodhisattva, having stood in the perfection of meditation, does not apprehend form or any of the other skandhas. Our sorrows and wounds are healed only when we touch them with compassion. There are only two mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way, and not starting. Each morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. If you have a person, you have something in him that is a part of yourself. What isn't part of ourselves doesn't disturb us. It is a man's own mind, not his enemy or foe, that lures him to evil ways. Don't blindly believe what others say. See for yourself what brings contentment, clarity and peace. That is the path for you to follow. The thought does not occur to a monk that I am about to attain the cessation of perception and feeling. There is the taking on of a practice that is painful in the present but yields pleasure in the future. Go beyond this way or that way, to the farthest shore where the world dissolves and everything becomes clear. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. With the purified divine eye, surpassing that of men, a Buddha sees beings as they pass hence or come to be. The mind released through wisdom here and now, knowing and realizing, one with the destruction of desires is a recluse. Everything arises and passes away. Is not to mourn for the past, worry about the future, or anticipate troubles, but to live in the present moment wisely and earnestly. In our lives, change is unavoidable, a loss is unavoidable. In the adaptability and ease with which we experience change, lies our happiness and freedom. As dust is thrown against the wind, mischief is blown back in the face of the fool who wrongs the pure and harmless. Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little, and if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick, and if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So, let us all be thankful. A family is a place where minds come in contact with one another. If these minds love one another, the home will be as beautiful as a flower garden. But if these minds get out of harmony with one another, it is like a storm that plays havoc with the garden. Realize that everything connects to everything else. I do not dispute with the world, rather it is the world that disputes with me. Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. If we could see the miracle of a single flower clearly, our whole life would change. Your work is to discover your work and then with all your heart to give yourself to it. Drop by drop is the water pot filled. Likewise, the wise man, gathering it little by little, fills himself with good. Be truthful, Do not yield to anger. Give freely, even if you have but little. The gods will bless you. When you attain victory over yourself, not even the gods can turn it into defeat. Gautam Buddha was a very calm, peaceful, and fair way of life, and these Gautam Buddha quotes encompass the philosophy of Buddha's teachings. Buddha, also known as the Enlightened, or Awakened, One, was the spiritual leader and founder of Buddhism.